Okay, sorry about that. I wasn't quite ready earlier. Sorry, guys. Earlier, I wasn't quite ready. I got company all at the same time. Hi, Jennifer. Trying to wait till a couple of people get on here. Because once I start, I don't know. And I think this is going to be a pretty long live. I got my printer and scanner hooked up, but I'm going to add the documents later so you guys can read them yourself. I'm waiting, Mama.
Let me see it. Let me see it. Are you trying to get it out still? You still trying to take it out?
Hey, I'm going to tell y'all what's going on in my background. My corkscrew broke, and I've been trying to open this bottle of wine. So, yeah, we have an issue.
Hey, it's hard in here. Okay, man. I'm gonna need you to. Yep. My pleasure.
Okay, Sherelle, she's here. And there's Shavita. No, Sherelle said she was. I had tagged her, and she said I'm here. Okay. This live is pretty much the Kora Reports. This I didn't get the I didn't get audio, video, or pictures. So all that I have is what is like the incident reports of everything. And it's kind of contradicting itself, like I was saying earlier. I went through and I read all of this. And I'm just kind of like appalled. One, because on the reports here, the best interest of my child and what really happened to him, what was not what was going on. Can't do that. Sorry. So I'm going to go through the reports, and I'm going to, try to keep up with the comments. But if I don't respond, it's not that I didn't see it. It's just, this is rough for me. And I really, really wish I had a glass of wine. But here we go. Okay. They have all the officers that was on the site, their reports. That's not the reports I'm really worried about. I'm going to go to the statements of everybody that was in the home or the kids that was questioned and the detectives um, final statement. In the detective's final statement, he said that I was non-correspondent during this whole investigation, but we know that's a lie, so I really wish I would have had these documents scanned in. But I said 7, so it's 7, so we're gonna do this. Um, I did try to like separate these where you could I could keep up and tell y'all, what's going on. Okay. Police report. It says on the first when they first arrived that there's 3 people standing in the living room. There was Marquay and the sister and the mother. I don't know if I can say names because it's just beginning of a new step here. So I'm not going to say names again. I'm going to not say names. So when they arrived, they're saying that it was Marquay, the mother, and the sister in the living room. This is the first police officer on the scene. When they got there, you probably don't want to read from right there. That's the detective last in this statement. What you're reading right there. Okay, when they got there, Royale had already been pronounced dead. The fire department said that when he got there, he removed the gun from up underneath, from away from Royale. They're talking about BB guns according to this report because the real gun, according to the report, is on the bed the whole time. All of this. Now, as I kept reading where it says that the gun was on Royale is where the little boy is pretty much lying about what happened. There was two or three different stories. At first, he said that he was in the bathroom, he heard the gun go off. Then he said he was in the living room playing the game and the gun went off. And then the last one was that Royale pulled the guns out, and when he came out of the bathroom, Royale handed him a gun, and they were supposed to play BB Wars. And Royale says, "Ready, set, go." He pulls the trigger, the gun goes off, Royale falls. That is the last story. That's the story they're going with. That's what they're saying that happened. Mind you, in this whole process, when the mamas, they asked the mama, can they search the home? They had to go to get a search warrant and all of that. They're saying that in order, when they got the search warrant, no one was in the home and all of that, but okay, whatever. In these reports, it says that, remember we were saying that they were saying that there were BB guns all over the bed. There were 2 pellet BB guns, 2. Not all over the bed. There were 2 pellet guns. 2 pellet, the BB pellets. I need y'all to understand what I'm saying. 2 on the bed. Not a whole scene like they were saying. The little boy said that Royale, the Royale shot his BB gun first. This is all in the reports. The Royale shot his BB gun first, and he had to duck to miss the BB hitting him in the head. Then he shot his gun off. Okay. All the stories kind of contradict themselves, but I'm gonna go with it. Okay. So it says that. So after the detective, lets the little boy and the family go, whatever. A few days later, they go out there. No, it wasn't even a few days later because this happened on the 21st. he went back February the 6th to look and see if there was a BB marking on the wall or something. There's nothing. There's not even a mark on the wall showing where the BB gun touched the wall. But according to the mobile homes, they're about to sell the place. So there has been work done there. But the man, the maintenance man that is fixing it, said that he didn't see anything. The room had not been painted by the time they went back out there to check. So, I mean, as far as we know, I mean, that's what it is, which is another lie, but whatever. Okay. So we're going to get down to like specifics in here. Okay, originally they said that when they found the little boy, he was barefoot and he only had on a pair of shorts and he was wrapped up in a blanket. According to these police reports, they're contradicting because one officer says the one that picked him up, he had on shoes. Another officer says that he didn't. So, you know, we don't know about that either. This is what stood out to me. The mother's report. Every question that they asked her, she didn't know. She didn't know if the gun safe was locked up. She didn't know that there were bullets in there. She doesn't know if the gun safe works. She doesn't know when the last time the gun was shot. She doesn't know where Royale was asleep that morning when she went to work. She doesn't know if Royale and her kids play with Nerf guns. She doesn't know any thing. I'm gonna find her. Really, somebody's calling right in the middle of my live. Okay. 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 Now, the officer that took the mother down for questioning when she pulled up, she said that the mother of the other little boy, as she pulled up, ran out crying hysterically. She thought that maybe that was her son that was hurt. So she was trying to console her to get her to calm down on the way to the police station. For questioning. She kept saying it's an accident. Am I going to go to jail for this? What can I be charged with? She refused to let them search her home, so they had to get a search warrant to go in because they didn't want, if someone was to be charged, someone to get off on a technicality is what they're saying in here. So they didn't went through all the proper procedures of getting a search warrant before they went in the home and all of that. Once she got downtown, they started questioning her. Once she got downtown, they started questioning her, and her answers to everything is that she didn't know. She says her mother leaves for work at 5 o'clock each morning. She said that her boyfriend and the 9-year-old boy, because the only reason why Only reason why he went to work with her that morning, according to her statement, is because he was awake. But mind you, later on down in her questioning, she says that she had a conversation with the 11-year-old boy that shot my baby before she went to work. So if you took the 9-year-old, why didn't you take the 11-year-old? He was up too. I mean, if you were taking children because they were awake, it's just kind of funny. But um, she said that someone was asleep on the couches, but she does not know who was on the couches. The night before, when she went to bed, Royale was on the couch sleeping. Um, they watched the Super Bowl game the night before, and she made them put the video games up, which is why Royale went to sleep. Um, she says that there's 2 guns in the house, but we've never discussed another gun, so I don't know. Something's on fire.
What? What?
That's the way it looks.
The glass exploded.
Get it down, clean it up. I'm sorry. Okay. She says that these cabinets hasn't been open for 4 to 5 years, but they had only been staying in the trailer home for 2 years. She claims that the last time they was taken out of this gun safe was when they moved there. So I mean that's contradicting themselves. You know what I'm saying? She said the 410 belonged to her older son and she purchased it. She said that she purchased it at a gun show. Okay, but um, in other reports, I believe it's in my one of my other videos. The detective said that it was a gift from the grandfather or something. Either way it goes, they're lying about who the gun belongs to. Um, and saying it's her college boy's gun, and that he didn't never like it, so whatever. They says that the oldest boy used to go hunting with the grandpa, and her youngest the 9-year-old boy went hunting with the grandpa, but the 11-year-old didn't. He had no interest in it, and the last time that the kids was taken hunting, the 11-year-old was sick. So they're trying to make it seem like he does not know anything about these guns. My problem is with that. When I'm going to show y'all later where um, the 11-year-old says that he was trying to make sure the gun wasn't loaded. So yeah, okay. So yeah, she says the kids step granddad used to took them the boys shooting in Overland Park. She says she's not sure if the 11-year-old went. And she said last time that she knows the gun was shot. What the gun known the gun to be out of the safe was in July when they moved to the trailer. Before then, it hadn't been out the trailer for 4 or 5 years. um, when everything transpired, Tiffany was the first person called, not the EMS. Um, that's everywhere, all through the reports. They called her, and Tiffany told them to call EMS, call 911. So, yeah, they called her first, which is why, I guess she was at the scene first, Um, she said that there was no issues between her 11-year-old son and Royale before she left for work that she can know of. But um, I don't know. But when they're asking her specific questions during her interview, all of her answers is I don't know. Uh, did you know the safe was not? Did you know the safe was broken? She doesn't know, but the 14-year-old girl knows that the safe is broke. Her boyfriend knows the safe is broke. Her 16-year-old daughter knows the safe is broke. You knew the safe was broke. Oh, I have wine. I need this. Okay. So we're going to go on with Tiffany's, oh shit, sorry. We're going to go on with the mother's statement. That they told her that they had got a warrant signed and they were going to go in her house. She asked if she was going to jail. I told her she was not today, and I did not know if she would go to jail. I told her that her kids were going to go home with her and their dad. She said she does not believe her son would purposely hurt Royale. They asked, do you believe that Royale could have shot himself considering the size of the gun? She said she did not feel that the gun was too heavy and did not know about the length of the gun. She said she does not remember locking up the game controllers because that's what another one of the kids said that maybe they went into the gun safe because the game controllers was in there. She said she doesn't remember if she locked the game controllers up. She does not remember if anything or other than the safe key would open it, meaning she didn't know that it was broke. All of her answers is she didn't know. Okay, so then it goes from her over to the 11-year-old boy. Now, the 11-year-old boy initially said that Royale shot himself. On this report, it has all of that, but it's going to have several different stories. But the last story is what we're believing. That's what the police is believing. Okay? Do you have a lighter? I mean, please look at my purse. I got one. Okay. Okay, so here we go with the 11-year-old stories, okay? It says prior for them talking to the 11-year-old, they talked to the father. Asked them about a ZTE phone, I guess, that they collected in the room. I don't know if it was something on this phone or not, but they kept it for evidence according to these police statements. I don't know why they would keep it unless there was something on it I don't understand why they kept it. So, but the ZTE phone, they were asking him if it was okay for them to search it. Okay, so I'm supposed to start right here. It says he introduced himself and the little boy told him he was feeling okay. I told him no matter what he did do, he had to talk to him, and that it didn't matter pretty much of what he told him today, he was going home. Yeah, continuously lying. Yeah, I know. Okay, so it seems so dark in here. I can't really.
That's what I was thinking.
Okay. I'm sorry, y'all. Yeah, thank you, honey. My eyes ain't all that great. Y'all didn't know. Y'all know that. I'm just saying. Uh, okay. As far as the initial story, what the 11-year-old said is that while he was in the bathroom, he heard a loud noise. When he went in the room, he found Royale on the floor with a gun on him. That's story one. Story two is that he was playing a video game and found Royale. He was playing the video game and found Royale had shot himself. And he picked up the gun and set it on the bed, which will explain why his fingerprints is on the gun. Is what he says to the detective. I swear, I'm going to upload this so y'all can see this, because I don't understand why he's in such details of why his fingerprints will be on the gun. And wait. His fingerprints wasn't on the gun. So I don't understand why right, no fingerprints. So I don't understand why you was so adamant on letting us know why your fingerprints might be on the gun. And then he asks the detective, if y'all find out that something happened, like I did this, what would happen to my mom? What would happen to my dad? What would happen to my sisters and brothers? And the detective told him, on this day, you will go home. So then we get the story as he comes out the bathroom. This is the story they sticking with. He comes out the bathroom. Royale already has the guns out. Royale hands him a gun, which will be the 410 shotgun, and Royale had a BB gun, which it doesn't explain why there was another. I need y'all to understand there was two BB guns and a real gun, okay? If it's just Royale and him, according to him, Royale hands him a gun and Royale has a gun. So why is there a third gun out? Where did it appear from? Okay? Says that Royale got the guns out of the gun safe. And Royale says, let's play BB Wars. He says, Royale said, let's play BB Wars. And he says, ready, set, go. While playing the game, ready, set, go. And they shoot. He ducks. The BB missed him. He shoots. Royale falls. This is what it says. This is the story that they're going with. After he's already lied to you twice. This is the story that you're going with. This is what happened to my child. Okay. So he goes, the 16-year-old girl doesn't come out. The one that's the oldest sister doesn't even come out the room at this time. The 16-year-old sister doesn't come. until after Marquay and the 14-year-old girl goes in there and they're screaming. And according to the reports, Marquay never even walked all the way in the room. He seen the blood on Royale and he turns around and walks out, gets on the phone, starts calling me EMS. EMS was called by the 14-year-old girl, according to this report. This is a part where I don't understand. It says that um, before they started playing with the guns, when they first got the guns out, he checks to see if the gun was loaded. Why would you check to see if a gun was loaded? And he couldn't figure out how to do so, is what he's saying. He pulls the lever, but he couldn't figure out how to do it. So, yeah. He said he had never held that gun and did not know it was loaded. He said Roy told him it was a BB gun and that he had checked to see if it was loaded. He said that's what Royale said. He said Royale handed him the gun and told him it was a BB gun and that he had checked to see if it was loaded. Let me tell y'all, my kids don't know nothing about no guns, okay? They don't know nothing about no guns. Royale I can't check a gun to see if it's loaded because he don't know nothing about no gun. He said he was trying to check and see if it was loaded and was pushing buttons on the levers on the top to try to open it. He said he was not aiming the gun. It was not and was just holding it. And they were getting ready to start the BB gun war when Royale said, "Ready, set, go." Royale had the BB gun that worked. After the gun went off, he said he saw Royale lying on the ground with his BB gun on him. And he put his gun on the bed and then went to get his siblings. He said that they had the guns for about 10 to 15 minutes before it happened. He said the BB gun wars, they did not shoot each other. Okay. That they had played BB gun wars before and they did not shoot each other, is what they're saying. I'm trying to figure it out, they I don't ever know. No, I have never known for my son to play with no gun. So I believe that's a lie. You know what I'm saying? They're saying that he's saying that they have played BB gun wars before with the BB guns. And if that's the case, then you knew that wasn't a BB gun. That's what I'm saying. It contradicts itself there. If y'all played with these guns before, then you knew that wasn't a BB gun. But okay, we're going with this story here. This is what's in black and white. So okay. Let me find my place. And so he said Royale got into the safe. He said at one point that he accidentally pulled the trigger. Then told him that Royale told him did not want to shoot or hurt Royale. He said that they had never argued or fighted about anything, that it was an accident. The detective asked him to show him on a piece of paper where was Royale located in the room when this happened. And he wishes that he did not pull the trigger. He showed him. They took a break, left him in a room for several hours. During the break, the boy told his dad that he should be in jail. His dad asked, "Did you mean to shoot Royale?" He said no. He told his dad that he dodged a BB gun that almost hit him in the head. They released him, and then it says they released him to the lobby where him and his family left. Okay, that's the little boy's statement. I have a diagram of where Royale's body was, and I think it's very important that y'all know. Royale's body on the diagram looks like Royale was right by the bed. But according to the detective, he was saying that Royale was in the corner. Can y'all see this? Hold on. This way, this way. I can't see. Hold on, let me pull it up on my phone so I can tell you. Okay. This is the diagram of, is it on there right? Because I can't see, it's covering up. I can't see.
Move it up. Move it up. Right there.
Okay, y'all see the diagram where they're saying that my baby's body is right beside the bed. When the detective came, he told us that his body was over here in between this little thing and over here. Okay. I don't know. I just feel like a lot of what I've been told and what is on this report right now is not right. Okay. And I'm gonna load this stuff up where y'all can see it. I had a really, really rough afternoon after I went live earlier, and I wasn't able to get my computer and my computer synced together where I could pull all of this stuff up because it can be done. I've done this not on a live, but I've done this before as far as like bringing stuff from my printer scanner over to my computer. Okay, I really need a hair tie. Next, we're going to go to the boyfriends. Thank you. We're going to go to the boyfriend's story. And the only thing that's in the boyfriend story that I want y'all to know, he said that he was at work. He went to work 4 o'clock in the morning. Only thing that stands out on that is that he admits that the gun safe would have been broken for months. Says that the key got stuck in there months prior, and he broke it with a butter knife. So they knew this gun safe was broke. And if he broke it with the knife, that means the mama knew it was broke. But according to the mama's report, right here, she doesn't know it's broke. Okay? Then what I'm reading is the incident report, the incident summary, because everything else in the front, remember I was telling you guys, it's all blacked out. It's all blacked out. This is, this is what I got. And stuff like this, it's blocked. So, and there's statements on here, even in the incident report, that there's sentences blocked out, and someone says that they probably blocked them out because of some type of questioning. Okay. Right, and Sherelle. That's the main thing from all of the reports of them investigating everything. Those were questions that were left in there. Well, what would happen if it was a shooting? If someone admitted to pulling the trigger? The mama asks is, am I going to go to jail? What's going to happen to my kids? Not that my son was gone. You know what I'm saying? How is Geneva feeling? Is she here? I mean, you know what I'm saying? If this was truly an accident and y'all believe that this was an accident, why are y'all worried if y'all going to jail? Why aren't y'all trying to help the investigation and figure out what really happened? You know what I'm saying? That's not what happened. That they were worried about themselves the whole time. Somebody about to get told. Okay. This is one of the sisters. She said that the mother left the home around 4 and took the little brother with her, and the boyfriend took her to work. That the mama runs a daycare with her mother in her mother's residence, and the boyfriend dropped him off. And this is a 14-year-old girl. She said that my kids came over to watch the Chiefs game the night before. Royale falls asleep on the couch. They asked her to draw a diagram of the house and where everybody slept that night and everything, and she did so. Yes, I still have extra large shirts, Danielle. I don't know if you're on the live or not. She says the gun safe was in her mother's room. She said she knows there was a BB gun and a 410 shotgun in the cabinet. She says her mother keeps the medicine locked up in the cabinet. 2 of the kids gets medicines. It's blocked out, so I don't know who gets medicine at 8 p.m. every day. She said no one was allowed to go in the cabinet, in the gun cabinet. She keeps it locked up with the key with her. Oh, I left out a part. Tiffany said, oh, I keep saying her name. The mother says that she did not take her purse to work, and she keeps the gun safe key in her purse. Her purse was left on the bedroom door in her room, on the doorknob in the room, right? I don't know. It's something that I forgot to say. She said none of the kids was allowed to mess with the gun cabinet and that her mother kept it locked up and keeps the key with her. She told me she didn't know what time her little brother came into the room to wake her up and tell her about Royale being shot. She says it was daylight outside. She says that she didn't believe it at first. I asked her if she heard any loud noises or a gun shot out, and she advised that she didn't. She says that she and Quay followed down the hall to her mother's room. She saw Royale laying on the side of the bed, on the far side of the bed, on the floor. She said his legs were slightly bent, but she straightened them out as directed by the 911 dispatch. She said that Royale was on his back. She said she kept my son, Marquay, from coming into the room because she didn't want him to see his brother that way. She told him, Marquay, to go get the phone and call me and 911. She said that she first saw Royale on the floor. When she first seen him on the floor, she screamed. She said, this woke. She said when she first saw Royale lying on the floor, she screamed. She said this woke up her sister. And she told her, the sister, to call the mother. She said her little brother, the 11-year-old, left the house. He was scared. I clarified that the 11-year-old told her Royale shot himself. He's saying he clarified, what do you mean shot? He was shot. And then she says that the little 11-year-old said that Royale shot himself. She told me that she believed that the 11-year-old came into her bedroom and told Royale, she said that Royale accidentally shot himself. And then there's a big black line, so we don't know what it said right there. Okay. She said that she went to bed around 2 a.m. She said before she went to bed, she turned off the PS4 in the living room by the controllers, meaning that the controllers was not in the gun safe like they're trying to say, like the kids went into the gun safe to get the controllers. She's saying they were not in there. She says that she can't remember anyone getting the guns out of the gun safe for several years, and she thought the 410 shotgun was bought at a gun show about 10 years ago. This is what the 14-year-old is saying, that the shotgun was bought at a gun show about 10 years ago. And she said it was a wood stock and a black color metal part. She said nobody was mad at each other. She said Royale and the 11-year-old got along great, which is a lie because, there were several times that I picked my son up because there was arguments or whatever, Boys will be boys is what I thought it was. I didn't think nothing of this sort was happening, I'm not keeping up with the comments, guys. I'm not. Okay. This is an interview from This is Quay's interview. Okay, in Quay's interview, he says that he didn't know what time he was waking up, but the 11-year-old told him Roy shot himself with a gun. They didn't believe him. He continued to tell him that it happened, and so him and Hannah, him and the 14-year-old girl goes up to the master bedroom. And he did not believe it, but he didn't believe that he was telling the truth. But he did not hear a gunshot, so he didn't think that none of this was real at this point. He said Marquay didn't go very far into the room before he saw Royale laying on the floor. Royale was laying on his back with one arm outstretched, describing a bleeding injury to Royale's face. Quay saw a gun on the bed. That's what it says. Blank ran out into the bedroom to get the phone so that he can call 911. He told me that another call that he made was to me. He says that he believes that the 11-year-old shot his brother. I asked why would he thought that, and he told me that the gun was too long for Royale to shoot himself in the face. Secondly, he thought it was suspicious that the 11-year-old would ask him about prints on the gun and ask if he thought that the police would check to see who had touched the gun. When he was told yes, the 11-year-old responded with he picked up the gun from Royale and placed it on the bed. He said everybody was panicking and somebody called the mom. And the 11-year-old left the house. He left the house, and the 16-year-old left the house as well. When the first responders arrived into the home, it was Quay, the 14-year-old, and the mama. The mom had made it back from work. And then it's talking about my grandma was waiting on Marquay. Waiting on Quay in the quiet room. And that the video recording is all recorded. And so, yeah, here's the boyfriend's statement. It just said, he was talking about the cabinet in that room. The lock was broken on the cabinet, and he told the detective that it's just about any key would open the lock in the gun cabinet. It was a couple of BB guns and a 410 shotgun. Also in the cabinet was accessories associated with the shotgun, such as ammunition, both bird and slugs, gun cleaning stuff, and the children's medicine. It said that the other children wasn't able to touch the gun safe. He said that the night before, the 8 o'clock meds was given by Tiffany, the mother. It says that the gun was owned by the college boy that showed no interest in the gun. Um, and the gun was kept locked up. That there was no other guns in the cabinet other than the shotgun and the two BB guns. He said that he had never seen Royale or the 11-year-old express any curiosity towards the guns or the gun cabinet, which is kind of contradicting because, the 11-year-old says that they play BB gun wars. Yes, too many discrepancies. I'm gonna keep going though. This is from the 16-year-old. She said she woke up around 5 a.m. when her mother was getting and the mother's boyfriend was getting ready to leave for work. Said that they also took the 9-year-old boy to work with them. At this point, only ones there in the house is her brother, my two kids, and the 14-year-old. That she says that they have been. She stated that my son had been there all week, which is a lie. And Royale came over to the house around 1700 to 1800 hours. It came over the night before. Saying that Royale's friends with both of the brothers, the 11-year-old and the 9-year-old. And when she got up at about 5 a.m., the only one that was awake was the 11-year-old. But according to the mother, only one was up was the 9-year-old, which is why she took him to work. But according to this, they're saying that the 11-year-old was up. She says she goes into the mother's room when it has to be quiet and tell them they need to be quiet and not wake up the other ones. They were in the mother's bedroom, I guess, because that's where the game was. She doesn't know where Royale slept the night before, but she assumed it was in the bedroom with the 11-year-old. She got up again around 7 o'clock to get something to eat and noticed that the 11-year-old and Royale were both awake and they were playing the PS4 in the living room. She told them they needed to be quiet if they were going to be up playing the game. She stayed sometime later. She heard somebody go to the bathroom because the bathroom was right next to her bedroom. After he left the bathroom, she does not recall the time, but she heard a loud noise. She stated that she did not think anything about it and thought that they had just broke something, playing and broke something. She stated that she did not hear any running to the rooms, and then heard someone saying, "Oh my God," which is the 14-year-old. So when she heard the loud noise, she didn't even get up, is what she's saying. She just thought that the kids broke something. The next thing she heard was yelling at her for her to call her mom. Said that Royale accidentally shot himself in the face. Stated that she called the mother and the mother told her to call 911 immediately. Like I said, the mother was called before 911 was called. Like I've been saying from the beginning. How did she get there before anybody? They're saying that somebody was on the phone with 911, and she believed that Marquay was on the phone with me. But according to the stories, is the 14-year-old is telling Quay to call the ambulance. The 14-year-old told the 16-year-old to call the mother, and Marquay's on the phone with me, and the 16-year-old on the phone with their mama. So after those calls, I believe that's when the EMS was called. Okay. And then so it says Blank said that Blank was in the living room freaking out, and she went into. So she's saying that Quay was in the living room freaking out because Marquay was the only one that did not go in the bedroom. He walked in the bedroom, seen the blood on Royale, and walked out. She said Marquay's in the living room freaking out. She went into the mom's bedroom to see what happened. She said that she walked into the bedroom in panic. She said that she does not do well with that kind of stuff and does not remember whether Royale was on the bed or on the floor. But he was not moving or saying anything. Come in. Come in. I'm live. Come on in, Jack. Close the door. Come on in. A lot of crawling on the floor. You are you're a mess. You're a mess. Sorry, y'all. Okay, so she said Royale was on the floor. She couldn't remember Royale was on the bed or on the floor, but she knows that he was not moving or saying anything. That she says that she calls the mom back and said that she was leaving and going to her friend's house. So the 16-year-old leaves. As she walks into the living room, she said that Blank ran out of the trailer and she ran out telling him to come back, the 11-year-old. And said that she did not catch up with him, but she assumes that he went back to the trailer and she went to her friend's house. Shortly after she got there, her mother called her and told her to come back to the trailer. She believes the 11-year-old took off because he was something, is blanked out and panicked. It says, I asked Blank about Blank and what she meant by being blank. I don't know. I guess that's going up with the paragraph before where it's scratched out. She advised me that he's not on any medication or anything, but they think he's just blank or something. Then she stated that he is just dumb. I asked her what she meant and to explain that to me, and she advised that he just doesn't take anything serious. It's funny how they leave out certain words, but they make sure they left those in, that he doesn't take anything serious. I asked about the gun in the house, and she stated that she knew there was only 2 guns in the house and that they were kept in a gun safe in her mom's bedroom. She said the safe was usually locked, but the lock was broken. So the 16-year-old knew that the lock was broken also. And only her mom and her mom's boyfriend knew how to get in it as far as she knew. She stated that the last time she was in the safe was Friday evening to get her blank because that's where her mother kept her in blank, I don't know, medicine. Um, It says she also advised me that the lock on the safe was broken and that you can open it with anything flat, like a screwdriver, a knife, a flat key. She also advised me that the mother would keep controllers to the PS4 games in the safe, and if the boys were in trouble for staying up late or playing the games, that her mom would most likely lock the controllers up. She asked, I asked if she heard anything prior or after hearing the loud noise and stated that she did not. I also asked how Blank and Royale got along, and she stated that they were very close and got along great. If I asked if there were any arguing prior to the hearing the loud noise, and she stated that they were not. She stated that the whole house was quiet before she heard the noise, but she didn't get up to see what the noise was. So how do we know that? I mean, what she's saying is true. How do we know that there wasn't an argument? How do we know that? Because we're just going to solely off of what they say, right? I mean, what they say is right. Yeah. Um, it just said that now it's just saying that everything was reported. Now, here's the fire department statement. The fire department statement is kind of interesting to me because they moved guns and things around, but you assessed him and you found him DOA, so why did you even move anything? I don't understand exactly why you moved anything, but whatever. I mean, it says, I was dispatched to assist shooting. I arrived to the scene at 9:01 and made contact with Sergeant. No, this isn't this is Wichita Police Department. Hold on, let me find the fire department statement. Yeah, nobody's going to be held accountable for anything. Nobody's going to be held accountable. They made sure, that family made sure that they servers all lined up to say the same thing, pretty much. Mind you that my son was the first person put in a police car when they got to the scene. So the family was still together, gathering shoes and all of that. Just like, they said that the little 11-year-old boy took out the front door. He didn't have on any shoes or anything, but the officer that picked him up said that he had on a pair of basketball shorts. A pair of basketball shorts, a pair of shoes, and a blanket wrapped around him. But according to the detectives, when they did find him 62 minutes later, um, he didn't have on any shoes, but that's not what the officer that picked him up said. So. And then, in here in the reports, it says like, they say what was tested and what wasn't tested. It says that they tested, it was chemically tested, the BB gun was, the two BB guns was, but um, the shotgun wasn't. I don't understand why why that's like that either. Why didn't y'all test the shotgun? Um, this is the detective that came to my house trying to answer. He said he attempted to answer our questions, which, He said that the voice recording that we played, that he questioned that lady, and the lady said that she was going mostly of what she found on Facebook. But I never found the comments or anything stating where she was, she had specifics in that. I don't know if y'all remember the voice recording that I played. On the voice recording, she was saying that the 11-year-old, that Royale was playing with the gun on the floor, and the 11-year-old told him to shut the fuck up, and he was going to take the gun and shoot him with it, and that he had been acting out, which is why the 9-year-old went to work with the mama, and him and the 14-year-old girl had got into it, and there was a whole altercation, and she was saying that Royale was shot execution style. She's saying that all of that she was talking about, it was stuff that she gathered off of Facebook. So pretty much like what she told me was pretty much like hearsay. And so they never even went on to try to even investigate, that theory or anything. So they let that die down as soon as they heard it. Wichita Police Department, Wichita Police Department, Wichita Police Department. And these are all the officers, and like their stories contradict each other too. Like what they're saying. I'm not going into that tonight because, like I said, I am going to load all of this stuff up. And I'll let y'all read kind of most of that by yourself. What I want y'all to read, about is like, the parts that stuck out to me that I thought was really weird. The fire, the first responder that got there, he said that he pronounced Royale or whatever. But I don't understand he why he moved anything. He says that he moved the gun off of Royale. It says in black and white, and then so like it just contradicts what the DA is saying. That because remember that was an inconsistency in the stories. Remember. Yeah. This is the thing. This is full of lies, even in black and white. What the fuck? Yeah, here goes one of the man that got the 11-year-old. They advised that the 11-year-old who was a white male had left the scene from the shooting from the trailer shortly after the shooting occurred. I checked the areas just south of the trailer park and the BMX park, and around the area. I did this for a while. It says 30 to 40 minutes until I went back to the scene along MacArthur. And then that's when he seen the little boy, the 11-year-old, with a blanket. He stopped his patrol car and got out and asked him what was his name. The little boy stated his name and told him, and he said yes, that he was the little boy they was looking for. He asked him to get in the back of the patrol car to warm up out of the bitterly cold morning. All he had on was a pair of shorts, shoes, no shirt, and blanket on him. He says that he has on shoes, but the detective wanted to emphasize that this little boy was out here with no shoes on, only with a blanket around him and some shorts on. He had time to put on shoes. So how quick did you go wake up anybody? And if he had on shoes, from my understanding of reading these reports, and while everybody is up and now everybody is trying to, call certain people, get the EMS there, is when he ran out the door. But he was standing there telling them that, this was an accident. Royale shot himself. They never say that the little boy walked off to put his shoes on. So he had his shoes on before he woke up Marquay. So it also says that when he's downtown talking to the police officers, he put a towel on Royale's face. What were you doing with the towel? What was you trying to stop the blood? I cannot find what I'm looking for. Anyways, the fire department, when they got there, they said that they assessed Royale. There was no reason for them to move the gun, but they admitted to moving the gun. And which I don't know, everything is just so messed up. I mean, I don't know what to believe and what not to believe. Right. This is the stuff that I have in evidence, and I'm supposed to show y'all. Yeah. Well, I'll put to show y'all where it shows that they did not test the 410 shotgun. Yeah. Okay, that's the pellet gun. And it says chemically tested, processed. See that? And that's the BB gun. This is another one. This is the BB gun. And it says chemically processed, right? Here's the bullets for the 410 shotgun. Nothing. It wasn't chemically tested. They didn't check it for fingerprints to see if the boy put the bullet in there or anything, okay? Oh, it was tested. It says chemically processed. Um, one silver bearer, 410, 70 cartridge casings in the envelope. Oh, this is the actual bullet. It was tested. Hmm. They have 5 sealed sacks of clothing for Royale. I understand because they said that Royale didn't have on anything but basketball shorts. This is 5 sealed sacks containing the clothing and handbags from the body of Royale. They got 5 bags of stuff, and he had on basketball shorts. See, well, I'm guessing this is a 410 shotgun and the bullet. It has to be because it says unloaded, black and brown. Yeah. So it was chemically processed. So prepare and duplicate, forward all copies to property and evidence section. So I guess it was tested. But it was somewhere where I was reading where they said that they didn't test it. Maybe that wasn't this paperwork. That was the paperwork that the DA um, released to the public. Remember, that's what that was. They said something was swabbed, but they don't tell what it was. A, a tobacco swab from blank. I don't know what that is. Do y'all know what that is? I don't think, no, we don't know what that is. Okay. It says that that the detective was there for most of the autopsy report. I don't have the autopsy report yet. And all of this stuff is that I'm flipping the pages is on I don't know what it is. It's a lot of codes and stuff. So there's nothing that I can actually tell y'all what it is. They said that there was fragments on the BB guns, but there was no fingerprints at all on the 410 shotgun. Okay, so the autopsy report, we don't have it. But we have the Wichita Police Crime Scene Investigation Unit autopsy report. It says see medical examiner's notes. So nothing is on here. It's saying that the physical evidence collected, they checked Royale's palms and fingerprints and hand coverings. Then there's a big list of stuff here. And then according to this, it says preliminary findings, gunshot wound to the head, entrance lower face. And his handwriting gets very sloppy. Cause of death, gunshot wound to the head, and it's marked as homicide. I asked what was Backle. They said they tested for Backle. I don't know. They have it marked down as homicide, but they called it a tragic accident. The little boy intentionally pulled the trigger. But because they can't say he maliciously pulled the trigger. With malicious intent, no one is charged. Okay. They did not check for DNA sample swabs from shotgun or casings in the barrel. It was not processed. They didn't do it. See that? If it was done, it would say processed on it. It doesn't. They didn't check for DNA samples on the ZTE phone or swabs for the BB gun. They already told us when they was at my house that they wasn't going to check for DNA because Royale's DNA would be everywhere. There's no such that there's a such thing as touch DNA, but because of Royale's wound, they believe that his DNA will be over everything. So they didn't test for DNA to see if the little boy's DNA was on there or anything. Uh, they didn't test for it. This case was never the best interest of my son. They didn't treat this as a homicide case. They treated this as a accident, and so they did not. They didn't do not a lot of shit. This is the standoff, the standard offense report, and it's blacked out on a lot of it. It says description murder. I mean, It says it over and over: homicide, murder, murder, murder. But no one was charged. This is where everything is pretty much blacked out, so it doesn't give me much of anything. This is the handwritten part of everything. Um, there was photographs taken, there was body cams and all of that. If I want to see them, then I have to pay to see them. It's a flat rate up front, and then every 15 minutes they charge another fee for me to see all the videos, hear the recordings of the questioning part and all of that. And I believe that I should do it because I want to see if they're edited. You know, on a video, if it's edited, it will jump. It wouldn't be as smooth. You will see a jump in the screen and all of that. Um, no, I got this is like all of the evidence on there of what they use, and on certain parts, like it says, like on the gun, do not overuse the swabs for shotgun casing of the barrel. Do not overuse for checking the guns and all of that. Um, Clothing, 5 sacks sealed with clothing and handbags from the body of Royale Spencer. That that bothers me because I was told that my son didn't have on anything but basketball shorts. So what is these 5 bags of clothes that they have? That's something I don't understand. I don't know, and Sherelle, and it's even in the tight summer reports. There's big long lines, you know. So I don't know what. It says that Royale's body was still on the scene at 9:30 that night. And that's what, 12 hours later. So we'll never know like exactly the exact time of Royale's death because they said themselves that they don't even do those tests. No coroner in the state of Kansas can tell you a time of death. Um, there's a lot of information in here, and I'm not just gonna like one is too rough for me. But what I will do is load it up and let y'all see for yourself. It's just like 64 pages, you know. Um, when I was reading this earlier, you know, I broke down because, you know, even the officers, when they're describing what happened on the scene, they have so much sympathy for the other family. And I mean, where was our sympathy? Um, they never treated this as a homicide case. They treated it as they treated it like Rayo was a bunny in a road to me. Um, I'm gonna upload this information. Y'all can look at it yourself. And I think that who is it? Um, when I do upload it, it's locked. When I do upload it, it's not going to be public because if you're not my friend, you won't be able to see it because I just don't want the extra bull that's gonna come with it from like people that goes on Cake News and KWCH. Um, I will upload it though. It will be up tonight. Yeah, I felt like it shouldn't have been blocked out if it wasn't truly an accident either. And let's keep in mind, y'all, that I reached out to Steve Wilkos. Steve Wilkos producers called me back the next day. They said that they will reach out to the other family, and the other family refused to go on the show. If it was truly an accident, why wouldn't you want to come on the show and prove your innocence? If there was no malicious intent, why won't you prove to me? If it happened in my home, I would be in jail, one, so I wouldn't be able to go on Steve Wilkos. But if it happened in my house, I would go and I would prove that it was an accident. I would prove to you that, you know, um, we didn't kill your baby and it wasn't purposely. So I will upload this stuff. It's too rough for me right now, and maybe in a couple of days we can dissect it together. But right now, as it stands, I feel like this case was not handled correctly. And it's in black and white what the fuck they didn't do. So, um, with the lawyer, he can file motions and get an internal investigation and all of that started. That's where I'm at with it because I mean I can keep going over this stuff and keep going over it, but these lives don't do anything but tell y'all what's going on. It doesn't help Royale because we're not doing it. We can't personally do anything about it. Um, I just I just want y'all to know that like before y'all go into this, it's rough shit. And that ain't just rough because that's my baby. It's rough because this was a human being that was treated like he didn't matter. And it's messed up. So I will upload them tonight. And I thank y'all for coming on here. Um, when I get the coroner's reports, the 911 call, none of that still has been released. I will tell y'all what I found in that too. But as of right now, that's what I do got. And what I do got, it says a lot. Yeah, I can sue the family for wrongful death, but um, that's not where I'm at yet. I guess that's where I should be. I don't know.
Either way, you still need an attorney.
Either way, I still need an attorney for all of that. So I don't know. All right, y'all, I'm gonna log off. And I will leave this live up. It is long, and I'm sorry. I'm gonna go back and read comments now. So I will respond.